Hey YouTube, this is A from Ebony Girl Speaks. Wanted to come at you real quick with a short little message. It's something I want to share. But first I want to tell you why. The other day I was online and I saw an article. I didn't read it, but just the title alone, I figured, I got my own opinion. But the question was, is Black History Month still relevant? And I believe it is. I don't know, a lot of people may not agree with me, but if you do, yay. I think that it's still relevant only because I remember years ago with Black History Month, remember we used to see all these shows and documentaries and you couldn't turn on like PBS and not see a documentary about Black History Month, something relevant to Black History Month, I should say, autobiographies, civil rights movement, what blacks have achieved in science or whatever. Now you don't see that much. You notice that? But that's one of the reasons why I say it's still relevant, because the other 11 months out of the year, we don't see those same achievements being documented by mainstream media. To tell our story, to tell the things that blacks have achieved, especially hearing about the things that blacks have invented that we use every single day. And so many of those things we didn't even know blacks had their hands in. But you know, black people had their hands in everything, which is a good thing. But why I wanted to share this with you is because it's one of my favorites. It's a magazine, and I know this is not very popular. A lot of people I talk to about it have never heard of it. I hope that a lot of people in YouTube land have heard of it, and if they have, tell other people about it. And if you haven't, check it out. Check it out. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Like I said, it's one of my favorite magazines. I've been reading it for years. It only comes out 4 times a year, so if you're like me, subscribe to 20 other magazines, then this one you pick up, you're so engrossed in it because the articles are terrific. And the magazine is called American Legacy Magazine. And it is the magazine of African American history and culture. Can you beat that? I mean, can you really beat that? Have you heard of it? I hope that you have. And if you've heard of it before, I hope that you're sharing it with everybody else. Your family, your friends, your co-workers, anybody, everybody. And when you finish your magazine, I hope that at least you pass it around to everybody and let them read it. Because a magazine like this is very, very, very important to us today, because there's so many things in the magazine that I've never even heard of before. And I look forward to reading it. I don't see it everywhere. My subscription ran out, and I didn't renew it as of yet, but I will soon, because I don't find it everywhere. Like with Essence or Vogue and all those other magazines. But this one is very, very important to our existence. And I think it's a good magazine. Not that I think it is a good magazine for the family, and definitely the young ones. I won't show you the magazine because that might be copyright infringement, and I don't want to do that. But I'm going to go through 1 or 2 of the magazines and tell you about some of the articles that are in here. Now, I have a few. For some reason, I don't know why. But I guess I'm so behind because I read so many of them. But one of the articles, Harlem's youngest artists. In the midst of the Depression, some stars of the Harlem Renaissance worked to teach and inspire a new generation of artists. There's an article here about the senator from Mississippi, a black minister from Mississippi. What else they have in here that may interest you? The freewheeling days of ABA basketball. Okay, and another article, building a bridge to Africa. An ancestor comes full circle. And like I said, this is African American history and culture. The 1968 Olympics and the moment that changed everything. This is the spring 2008 issue. And on the cover it has the 2 guys who won the medals with their fists pumped up in the air. Y'all know that one, right? But there's an article about Ed Hamilton. I don't know who he is, but once I read this article, I will. Exploring the Black experience in Vietnam. That's one of the articles. Another one is Images of a Revolution. Black Panther, Emory Douglas and his art. Britain confronts the slave past. Let's see what else you're going to like. Our first African American president. This is the spring 2009 issue. The Harlem Days of Malcolm X. Found new civil rights images. Voices of the Chicago Migration. This is a special travel issue. It's rediscovering Philadelphia. African American history takes its place in the city of brotherly love. Travels on the Louisiana Black Heritage Trail and Ethiopia's sacred churches. Okay, walking the line between sacred and secular, remembering Sister Rosetta Thorpe. And they also have activist and folk musician Odetta Sings On. I remember reading this one here. It's pretty much about music and how a lot of black talking about string bands and how it's a tradition that began nearly 4 centuries ago among African slaves. The meddling of the melodic beauty of the European fiddle with the rhythmic coloring of the African banjo to create a uniquely American music. Well, basically, I'm trying to just pick a few articles here, but pretty much, like I said, it's definitely an article, a magazine to enjoy, to definitely share with your family, definitely to, to keep as a part of our legacy. I really enjoy the magazine. And the website is AmericanLegacyMag.com. And I'm going to put it in the sidebar. And I hope that even if you don't subscribe to the magazine, I know, it's kind of hard with money and everything. I don't know how much a subscription is, but once you go to the site, you can see if it's something that you can partake in. I hope that you can, because I love this magazine. It talks about a lot of things that I didn't even know of. I'm not really a big history buff, but I do like hearing about history, be it whatever type of history it may be. But this is a magazine I think that everyone should, if you don't subscribe to it, at least pick up one copy on the newsstand and see if you like it. And if you like it, then subscribe. If you don't subscribe for yourself, maybe for your children, for your kids. Hey, they could use it to do book reports or whatever. I don't know, but you can always find good use in it. There's never an excuse not to have a magazine like this in your home and to make it popular and to make it a mainstay. I remember years ago I used to subscribe to a magazine called Emerge Magazine. It was like the Black Time magazine. That's really what it was like. It was a good magazine. I liked it. It gave you a lot of information on what was going on and, the African American world at the time. Here today, going tomorrow, and that's probably because the publication wasn't a strong one like Ebony or Essence or whatever. But this is a magazine I hope that we can find a reason to support, because it's about African American history and culture. You can find a lot of books on history and our culture. Definitely, we know that. But a magazine that comes out every 4 times a year, that comes out and gives you a brief history, and you then can do all the research that you want. Come on, you can't beat that. So go check out American Legacy Magazine. I'm going to put the website in the sidebar. Pass it around. Pass the information around. Give subscriptions, whatever you want to call it, to everybody you know. But read American Legacy Magazine. And I know you won't be disappointed. You really, really won't. So on that note, I'm going to leave you because I just wanted to share a little note with you. That was it. Hopefully it's something you could use. If so, let me know. If not, find a way to do it anyway. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. But you guys, enjoy your Valentine's Day tomorrow. And those of us who are going to be spending it alone, so what? Go out and do something. Have fun. As a matter of fact, go out and get a copy of American Legacy Magazine and some candles and a nice bottle of wine and sit down and read it. I think that'll do you good for Valentine's Day. But anyway, whatever you do tomorrow, just enjoy it. Bye. See ya.